Hey, welcome back. So, in these prior videos, I've been suggesting that this heartfelt sense of separate personhood that you feel and all of the things it informs about who you think you are and how you go about your life, convinced that you're an action figure that's largely responsible for the outcomes in your life and that you're going to manage your way through life, is probably not as helpful a way of seeing things, even if it were true, as embracing an outlook that you're being lived. You're being lived by the universe, okay? And I feel some non-physical stuff there that's living me as well as the physical stuff that's living me. We can debate about the reality of the non-physical stuff, but there's no doubt that we're being lived. And I said that in these videos, I would try to make it real. So I want to tell you how I've been lived just over the last 30 to 60 days. And what that looks like and how that is such a relief, how much more fun, how much more uplifting it is to let yourself be lived. Okay, so I'm a general contractor, I'm 65. The way I do it, I do most of the work. It takes a lot of energy out of me, and I'm getting to the point where, yeah, I've still got some energy, but I don't really feel like using it now to, build yet another something for somebody else. I'm winding down. I'm wanting to take care of this body, and the universe is telling me, dude, you don't quite have, the level of energy you had before. You can't piss in the wind, build your own crap, build everybody else's stuff, and party on top of that. Okay, it's time for you to maybe save it up a little bit for some of the higher ticket items. All right, so 3 months ago, I'm having a party. And I like music and I want to support musicians. I got hammered during COVID. So I decided to hire a guy that I like, who's a local guy. And I had a party and he gave a concert. And one of the people that I invited was this man that I work for, this visionary entrepreneur that basically hires me to do pretty much what I do. And it's a wonderful relationship. I get to do all this creative stuff, but I'm getting tired. So anyways, I have this party and he comes and he hears the music, and the following Monday I'm on the job site working on his addition, and he says, hey man, we need to get a music scene going at this business enterprise that I'm managing. He's got this 12-acre business park and they have a building and they want to have concerts. He said, why don't you do it, man? I think you'd be good at it and you like to organize music. So I just see him and I see everyone else as the universe itself, no less than the totality, no less. Now, to me, it's divine, which means inexplicable, but just fabulous, wonderful, something wildly animating and mysterioso. Whatever the top shelf is, without labeling it, you, my boss, you're it. He told me, hey man, I think it'd be cool for you to do this. So boom, I make a career shift right there to music promoter, which I know nothing about because somebody asked me to do it. They're the universe and they're talking to me. About the same time, this woman comes up. I meet her serendipitously. I'm doing a job for somebody and she's there and we have a short conversation. She finds out that I homestead and then I'm into what other people would call spirituality or whatever. So she comes over, we hit it off, and she wants me to mentor her in this way of living, in this way of seeing stuff. So I do that, and I learn some things from her. I learn some things about how young people get their information, and about YouTube, and about making videos, and and also learn that she's interested in Airbnbs and homesteading and all that. So because of her, I had been kind of struggling with how I was going to get this information out of myself. I've been wanting to get out because of her, because she told me that I should just put this stuff on YouTube and that don't worry about how perfect it is, just get it out. She was the universe. She was talking to me. And so I was able to get through this blockage I have of trying to perfect the information or put it down in a book or whatever the hell I was, struggling with. And I just said, okay, the universe told me to just put it out there in this flawed state that it is. And so I listened to her and I started to make these things, and it's been great. I finally am through this block. The universe told me what to do and I did it. further down the line in this course of mentoring and me trying to help her figure out what she's meant to do, she kept saying that she just loved Airbnbs, weirdo Airbnbs. And, you know, I've got this studio here that I'm talking to you from, and it'd be the perfect Airbnb. This would be a great way for me to earn income as I kick back from the intense level of construction I've been doing. But it's right here on the edge of the natural pool, which is in the background of some of these videos you've been seeing. And it's right next to my house because my mother was in it for a while and we were taking care of her. And so it's like, you know, you can look right into my windows from the house. And so my partner and I, we love our privacy. We don't want to rent something that close to the house. And so I mentioned to her, you know what, we could do a project together where I could show you how to do Airbnbs and you could become an expert in like the quintessentially affordable, cool little Airbnb. And I had a site where like I could do one underground. But, you know, there was no reason not to do it in a way that would be super, super affordable. So as we could film the construction and we'd be doing a service to this huge group of people that want to live affordably and they want to live off the grid. And I can show them how you can build a really nice freaking house for dirt, because that's what I'm good at. And to really make it dirt, you want to salvage some of the materials that, you know, are going to be the predominant stuff that's in the house. So because she wanted to be mentored, because she is interested in Airbnbs, and because I felt this great affection for her, I thought, okay, well, I could build an Airbnb over on another part of my property, and I could build it underground. And what do I need to do that? I need some blocks, all right? So we had a meeting, and I said, you know what? It can't be that hard to find these blocks, but if it is, then maybe this thing doesn't want to happen. You know what, universe? I'm going to let you tell me whether or not I build this underground Airbnb, and that becomes my avenue for making some additional income I'm going to need to make when I start to preserve the body here. So I say, I'll tell you what, universe, I'm going to leave the house today. I'm going to go down to this town south of me. And if you show me like a block house that I can easily take down and salvage, and it's close to the house, and the people that own it give me permission, and I do this effortlessly, like right off the bat, okay, then you've spoken. I'm gonna build the thing. So driving down, look to my left, there's the freaking house. It's like just the right size. I think probably has exactly the number of blocks that I need. The roof has been blown in, I guess, by a tree or a hurricane or something like that. And so I get out of I pull in the driveway, get out of my car, I walk up to the house. There's this really sweet old lady there. She's like 90 years old. She comes out, you know, and we have this wonderful conversation. We talk about everything. I fell in love with her, you know, we're talking about life and everything. And you know, she says, yeah, I think it'd be a great idea, but my two sons, you know, they're the ones that make decisions now about stuff because I'm old and I need them to help me. And I said, great. So she said she'd call her son. And like a week later, he calls me and I tell him, look, I mean, I'm only going to do this if it's reasonable and easy. I can't take every single piece of junk you've got in that thing. You're going to have to get a dumpster and I'll put it in there. Anyways, I laid it on him. What was going to be easy, what was going to want to happen to make it just something that isn't some huge effort that I got to do. And he said, okay, I'll talk to my brother about it. I didn't hear from him for a week. Not a week, I mean a month. I didn't hear from him for a month. And I get a call from this guy. His name is Shorty Johnson. Okay, so I don't know Shorty Johnson. I talked to him one time. And he says, hey, talked it over with my brother. We want to take you up on this thing. Give me a call. So, Shorty Johnson, representative of the universe, okay, some dude I don't know. He's the one that's making the decision about whether or not I'm going to go ahead and build a house, okay, underground on my property and then rent it out, okay. So, I've been relieved of this decision maker role that puts so much angst into us. And I feel like I'm on this kind of Wizard of Ozian yellow brick road of just magical stuff popping out of the, you know, the woodwork and trees throwing apples at me and, you know, whatever needs to show up to make the magical trip of, you know, this guy here, this action figure, as spectacular as it can be because it's all for me. I expect that now. That's my teacher. That's who's going to tell me what to do. I'm on my knees in humility, accepting this fact, and I'm living from it. And you know what? Life is working out so much better than when I tried to figure out every goddamn thing on my own. Most of the stuff that I went up into my head and I said, okay, I'm going to do this for this reason. And I'm going to, it almost never worked out that well. Usually it took a big bite out of my ass. And ever since I've just let the universe live me, and basically I say yes to everything, like in that movie, I forget, with Jim Carrey, I forget what it's called. It might be called Yes. I just say, yeah, the universe is here. It's telling me what to do. Like, I don't have to decide. My client says, hey, I want you to clean this toilet. I clean the toilet. If he says, whatever the people say they want, I just do it. And you know what? When you show up, you do what the universe asks you to do. You do it well. You throw yourself into it. You become this instrument of manifestation with integrity that's very rare out there. You don't have to work your butt off. You don't have to market yourself. People ask you to do things. Things just naturally kind of come to you. You don't have to work so hard for them. You find in relationships start to happen more easily because you're not grinding away on your own little agenda, and life gets softer and sweeter. And yet, get lived. Go ahead, surrender. You're being lived. It's a physical fact. Just go ahead and welcome that in, and just go ahead and be lived. And I think you will find that life gets sweeter. Okay.